Hi everyone, welcome to another Server Runtime demo. So today I'm going to be showing the IDE injection capabilities of Server Runtime. So I'm here in a Python project where you can see I've got a few Python notebooks. I've also got an agent configured for this project in my Kubernetes cluster. So if I go to infrastructure and Kubernetes cluster, you can see I've got an agent connected this Vito. I can also see the configuration for that agent. So I've got certain things configured which set up remote development environments. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and so I'm going to go and, like anyone would, create a new branch to start a change, right? So I'm going to go ahead and create a new branch. And I'm going to call this branch test2. So once I've got the branch created, I can go ahead and create a workspace. So I can click on the open workspace button. Now, one of the things you'll notice is that this has a dev file.yaml, which is basically a standard for, so dev file is a standard for creating developer environments. And I've basically taken the standard Python example from the registry, the dev file registry, and I've stuck it here. So it uses the same Red Hat Python image to spin up a Python environment. Now there's no IDE installed in this environment. So I'm going to go ahead and what I'm going to go is say open in workspaces. I'm then going to select an IDE to inject, so I can inject VS Code or Vim, but I'm going to just go ahead and inject JupyterHub because I'm going to work with notebook files. So I'm going to go say create workspaces, and as you see that if I navigate to my Kubernetes cluster, you can see that a namespace, an isolated namespace has been created to run this workspace. So if I go and refresh, you can see that it's starting up. I'm going to pause this video for about 30 seconds till the notebook starts up completely. So as you can see, my workspace is now running. You can also see in the Kubernetes cluster, the pod is running as well for that workspace. So I can go ahead and open this. Now the first thing I do is authenticate with GitLab in order to get into my workspace and make sure that only the right people have access to the workspace. So now I can go ahead and open up my Python notebook. So I've got this sample Python notebook here. And then just like any other Jupyter notebook, I can start running the code, right? So I can go ahead and run some of this. As you can see, it's downloading the requisite packages. So NumPy and SciPy. Just give it a few seconds. Okay, now that's complete. We can go ahead and start running our notebook. So I'm going to go ahead and import all the libraries, go to run this function, and I can then actually run this interactive graph as well. And so basically you can interact with the notebook as you would, right? And then because we are sort of automatically authenticated with GitLab, I can actually go make changes to this notebook as well. So say hello Jupyter and save my changes to the notebook. Now that I've saved my changes, I can go ahead, go to terminal. I can check the status. I can see that the file was modified, add the file, commit. Before I do that, I need to set up my email address, commit, and then git push, right? And so now I've gone ahead and pushed my changes up to my branch. I can take that URL and create a merge request. So once I'm done with my workspace, I'll iterate on my code and make changes. Once I'm done with my workspace, I could go ahead to the workspaces view and click on terminate, and that will start terminating the workspace and the namespace as well. So if I go ahead and refresh, it's terminating. The pod, as you can see in Kubernetes, is terminating as well. It'll kill the namespace, pods, and everything else. And you can see now that the workspace has been terminated. That's it for my demo. Thank you for listening.